Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. My guest this morning, again, I say good morning again to Dr. Johnson. Dr. Julie Johnson is Deputy Provost of the NIJ. Glad to have you again, Doc.
Good morning on this morning to young Yori and our viewers at home.
Our pleasure. And Engineer Remy Omowaye, Commissioner for Information. So I beg your pardon. Well, information, you forgive me, it does sound a bit like innovation, but it actually is Commissioner for Innovation, Science and Technology in the state of Osun. Good morning, sir, and thank you very much for coming on.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, viewers.
In focus today, we have the whole issue of party discipline and supremacy. Sort of pulling that out of the whole matter that's out there in the media. As you know, two ministers in the president's cabinet would have appeared to, have, attracted the attention of APC chairman. In fact, they are under fire, as it were, by their own party chairman, Adams Oshiomhole, who has said that, look, he would suspend them. He would suspend any minister from the party if they failed to fall in line and subscribe to party supremacy and discipline. In fact, we have the clip where the... we'll play you the clip as soon as we can, where the APC chairman, depending on what side you're on of this particular issue, was breathing fire. He said he wasn't going to stand for it if it had been done in the past. Now, just looking at the comments in the media, a lot of people are saying this is a bit dictatorial. Isn't the power supposed to be persuasive and that kind of a thing? But I don't know. As I said, as soon as we have it, you see it, but you probably have read of it already on the internet. But gentlemen, what do you think about this stance? The Minister of Labour, for instance, has responded that he was in shock at receiving the letter from the party chairman on the 11th of this month. He said shock and amazement, and that was because he had obeyed largely the presidential directive to constitute all these boards, but left out was the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund. And that was because there was a 48 billion naira corruption investigation that was ongoing. So the party chairman must have been aware of this, and maybe that's the reason for his amazement. But Dr. Johnson, give me your view.
Let's focus on the content and not the context first. We'll come to the tone of the speech. However, because this is a welcome development, there are two critical factors to the sustenance of democracy and survival of democracy. One is the supremacy of the Constitution. Two, it's the party system and the supremacy of the party system. Because you can't get to any office, for you to be a minister, you must be sponsored by a political party. For you to be a governor, a commissioner, a president, a senator, you must be sponsored by a political party. Mm-hmm. So the political party is the source to power, is the route through which you get access to power. Okay. And we have had an unfortunate experience that once people get to power through the party, they jettison the party, they don't follow the policies and programs of the party, they throw away the manifesto of the party, they live a larger than life lifestyle above the party.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you, Dr. Johnson. Let me now hear from Engineer, Omowaye. Give me your initial thoughts.
Well, this is good for democracy. This is good for our party. As an ardent member of APC, I'm happy this is happening because we have one of our committed leader in Osun that was appointed as chairman of NIMET. And the circular came out about 8 months ago that from the SGF office that they should inaugurate them. Till now, the man has not been inaugurated. And I knew what the man went through to ensure we came to power in 2015. So what excuse would the minister give?
Okay, so, when you say you knew what the man went through, you are talking here in terms of reward for loyal stewardship.
Well, it's our government. We canvass for votes, promising that we will do this, we will do this. And we are supposed to be part of the government. We can't leave this whole thing to the president. Now, we have challenges in some of those aviation sectors because it's still being driven by technocrats. Yet people come back to blame the political class for this. The political class that were supposed to be part of those that will drive these agencies, you have not allowed them to come in.
Okay.
Over 50 years. So I am happy as a member of APC, and this is what party leadership is expected of.
Okay, now, but thank you very much for that. Now that sound bite of the APC chairman that I was talking about, we can play it now.
We must return to internal discipline. For me, it is the height of mischief for any minister. You cannot purport to be honorable minister and you act dishonorably. And it is absolutely illegal for a minister in a democracy to appropriate the powers of a board, because the laws establishing those institutions are clear, that the boards have procedures to follow. So when a minister sits in his office, appropriate the powers of the board in a democracy, not in a dictatorship, award contract that didn't go through boards, those are clearly abuse of office, for which they are liable. I am convinced that what they are doing is not with the endorsement of Mr. President. Over the period, they have tried to drop the president's name. But I tell them, it is the same authority that appoint these people. So we are informing them, it is either they comply with the president's instructions, or they comply with the party position, or they go and administer outside the government. I am clear about that. We are not going to wait. We have respect for ministers, but only to the extent that they recognize that they are a product of a political party. And we are not negotiating that. If they have done that in the past, under our leadership, we will not tolerate it. They either comply or we will expel them from the party. When we expel them, we will find out how the government can keep a rebel in the cabinet.
The new face of APC?
The
new face of APC, you would say?
No, that's...
Because APC, there have been complaints in the past about the level of party discipline.
Yeah.
So is this sort of signaling the new face of APC?
It should not be limited to the national level. It should be extended to the state and to the local government structures of the party. It's important for us to have party discipline, because I've said it over time on this program, that if people do not respect the constitution of their party, once they get to power, how do you expect them to respect the constitution of Nigeria, Federal Republic of Nigeria? Because the key to their existence is the constitution of their party, and they don't have respect for it across board over the years. This is the first time under this democratic experience that we will see a party chairman at any level. Look, I tell you, I have my personal issues with Adams Oshomole. Yeah. Until lately, 3 weeks ago, because one, it was part of the most moribund NLC then under Pascal Bafiao that sold the soul conscience of Nigeria away. He was first and foremost, he spoke against the security issue. The first, even within the ruling party, he spoke. He said the party will not tolerate that. Second thing he did is to rein this in. In actual sense, he had my respect for that, because we need party discipline. The party should serve as check. It's an institutional check on the way government is done. You see, we've said it over time that some of the crises that this party have could be resolved at what? At what level? At the national caucus level. At the national caucus level, the chairman of the national caucus is not the president. He's the chairman of the party. And if the party produces the president, the vice president, the speaker, and what have you, every one of them will meet. You know who shares the meeting? It is the national chairman. It is to bring governance under the control of the party. And all of this institution we have disrupted. So I salute to Adams Oshomole for saying this for the first time in my life. 2 weeks ago, I fell in love with him. Until then, I have my issues with him.
How do you think this is going to go down in the party, Remy? Because, as I said, the party has been used
this is a good thing.
You said it's a good thing. But again, from your experience, being a member of the ruling party and bearing in mind what has been until now, what's your realistic assessment?
This is good for us. It's going to enhance our fortune in the 2019
Do you think everybody's going to fall into line? And by that I mean chairman, because as
let me explain to you.
Jide was saying, it shouldn't be at the national level only.
No, this is straightforward. Let me explain to you. Adams Oshomole had done 3 major things since he came into office. He has started the serious reconciliation. Yesterday, Kwankwaso and Adams were with the president. He ensured, against all that, in Osun, we did direct primaries. That has enlivened and given back powers to those at the grassroots level. 3, the issue of those ministers. Don't forget that those that are affected and not the ministers alone, a lot of board members that crossed across the state. Now, you labored so much to ensure that Buhari came into power. You are seen as a leader in your local government. You got appointment over a year ago. You are still in your village. People are like, what's the reward for all this? But with what the party leadership had done now, people at the grassroots, at the local level, at the state level, would also be encouraged. Because as he has rightly said, the party chairman should, when all chips are down, you might not be able to run to the president, but you can go to the party chairman. So what Oyegun could not do for several years, Adam Oshiomhole has done it within a month. That is bringing back life into the party.
For the understanding of perhaps non-politically minded individuals, watching out there, what you just said, what the former chairman couldn't do, why do you think he couldn't do it, and why do you think Oshiomhole is doing it now, if he can do it? Because it still remains to be seen. There are those who have taken the interpretation that, wait a minute, you're going to mess with the president's cabinet? I mean, the president has constituted a cabinet. What you're saying effectively is that you can adjust that cabinet by sacking.
Yes,
by sacking a minister.
Because this is...
Not directly, but as he put it, when we suspend him from APC, how can he remain?
Yeah, because the party in government, on the ballot, you won't see Muhammadu Buhari. It is the party.
Yes.
So we won't allow anybody to mess up our party.
Okay, but you said he has done what the other one couldn't. What do you think was the reason it couldn't be done before?
I don't know. I don't know why Oyegun could not do it.
I think it's the lack of capacity.
Well, I don't want to talk about that.
No, it's part of the capacity and the will. Don't forget the antecedent of Adam Oshiomhole. One, he was once NLC vice president, later became president of NLC. He has operated at the national stage, at national level before.
So he's used to wielding power.
Exactly. And
he's been a governor.
Executive governor for 8 years. And so there are deeper issues beyond the discipline that he raised in that clip which you watched. How can a minister arrogate to himself the powers that belong to he was talking about process and procedure. I told you until 3 weeks ago, I have my issues, personal issues with him. But I started falling in love with him 3 weeks ago because I saw decisive leadership.
Bringing some sense of sanity.
Exactly, decisive leadership, because there are deeper issues. How can you sit as a minister and you arrogate your award contract? How I wish Oshiomhole happens to be the chairman when we have the Kachuku Barus case in NNPC and the Ministry of Petroleum, because these are deeper issues that he raised, that we cannot continue to do this and you'll be name dropping the president.
Which he
because,
says,
because everything anybody does affects the image of the president and ultimately affects the image of the party. Now, if everybody within the party has worked in tandem with the vision that the party had in 2015, they won't have the issues they are having now. And that's what he's saying, that enough is enough. There is the need for us to come back and look at ourselves in the mirror and tell ourselves the truth. In order for us to move this nation forward, we must reorganize our party, and that reorganization will affect our government. So anybody that does not fall in line, we expel the person. The person does not fall with it. He does not share our ideology. He does not share our principle. Why do you belong to a party you don't share their ideology and you don't share their principle?
Okay, just for a moment, the Minister of Labor, in responding to the shocking letter that caused him amazement as he had written on the 12th, the day after receiving the letter, had said that following the presidential directive to do so, they had indeed constituted the boards of 3 of them, but there was this one, and the reason that one is so, that hasn't been done, is because there's this, how much is it, 48 billion naira corruption matter that is being investigated. EFCC is all in there. So he thought he couldn't go about, doing that. He has to leave. So as I think lawyers refer to it as, preserve the rest, almost.
For me, that's a genuine excuse. What has that gotten to do with? In fact, if he had inaugurated the board would have probably aided the investigation, knowing fully well that this can tarnish the image of our government. The technocrat does not have anything to lose. The political class will know we have to ensure that we come out with the good results so that this won't tarnish the image of our government. So if he had inaugurated, I just said this is It's a mercy after death.
Okay.
He was just trying to defend himself. And unfortunately for the Labour minister, the media now focus so much on him.
He's
because
not the only
it
one.
is more in the aviation sector. I know there are a lot of bots in the... I just cited names of Dr. Simon Afolayan from Osun. I know Federal
Federal
Aviation Authority. NAC, I know a lot of these agencies in aviation have not been inaugurated. That is not good.
It is the chairman that is causing this shakeup. The president, I would have imagined, has infinitely more capacity to cause a shakeup.
The presidency is so wide and so large that the president requires the support of many institutions and individuals.
Particularly the leadership of the party.
And one of the institutions is the party. You know, the Honorable Commissioner said something earlier. He said that you may not have direct access to the president, but you have direct access to the party structure. And the party structure serves as a feedback channel for the president to know the pulse, to tell the pulse of party members as well as the pulse of the nation. You know, people working in the cabinet with the president might not be able to tell the president the truth. However, the people at the party level should be able to tell the president the truth. And you saw that he was just coming from a meeting from the party. He said, how can someone that is not in the party, that is a rebel? You see the terminology.
Yes.
Rebellious
Rebellious ministers.
Because you are not working in the interest of the party. You are not working in the interest of the government. You are not working in the interest of the president. Every of your action is trying to bring the name of the party into disrepute. Every of your action is damaging the success of the president. So why should you be in the party? And that's what he's saying. So when he says he has inaugurated 3, let me just quickly close on. You have inaugurated 3. And for more than 11 months, you have not done something. There's a need for you to do something. It's important. You see, because time waits for nobody. What needs to be done, it be done. When they establish those agencies, the law establishing them makes a provision for boards to be in place.
You know, one can't compare, you know, but when in our political history we see how when the former party was in power, you know, before APC came into power, there was this whole relationship between the presidency and the party leadership and how the presidency could undo leadership. And we heard all of that. Well, it looks like, you know, in keeping with the APC's sort of mantra at the time, not business as usual anymore, maybe something has happened, and as Jide was explaining, it's a cooperative effort. The president has his job to do. There's the whole matter about it would be a lot easier if there was discipline within the party. And Adams Oshiomhole was saying in that clip, at least one can deduce from that clip, that this is the way I see it. It wasn't as if this is something, a script of the presidency, at least that people get the impression that this is the way I see it. I am sure the president is not down with a lot of stuff that's going on. So let them not be dropping the name of the president. And if it was like that in the past, just take notice from now. It's not going to be that as from here on. It's a democracy. People, I was reading some newspaper comments, why is somebody conducting themselves like Idi Amin and all of that? You've just put all of that in context by explaining it, that no, this is the way it should have been. It's just strange to us, right?
Yeah. Don't also forget that the structure the party leadership has, I'm not even sure the government has it. We have structure at the polling unit level, up to the ward level, up to the LGA level, up to the state level, up to the national level. Oshiomhole is not only saying his mind, he's saying the mind of the entire party structure.
Yeah, you know we're going to come to that, because it was Jide who brought up the idea that it shouldn't, this attitude, this stance shouldn't be at the national level. It should
that's
come
what I'm
right
saying.
down to the state level. Will it?
He's saying the mind.
Because it's going to uproot, it's going
He's
to
saying the mind of
shake
the
up a
entire
lot.
party structure.
Okay.
Because we don't have the issue of independent candidates. Buhari is representing our party. Our party is going to come on the ballot. So if the government fails, they will vote at our party. It goes beyond their voting at Buhari. The greatest challenge we have today in this government is because we did not enforce the discipline when the leadership of the National Assembly was supposed to be elected. If discipline had been enforced, the issue of pardon wouldn't have shown up or would have been drastically reduced. And I'm sure we'll have gotten more mileage compared to what we are getting now.
Okay.
And all the dramas going on around because party discipline was not enforced.
Okay. So it's now all about party supremacy
Yeah,
and
and
discipline.
discipline must be
party
enforced.
supremacy.
One moment,
Party
please.
supreme.
Mr. George, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Yori,
Thank you for calling, sir.
and good morning to your guest there.
Good morning.
Uncle Yori, I wish Oshomole was the chairman at the time the rebel turned the APC to something else. The party said this is who we want as our representatives or officials in the National Assembly. Then somebody sits down somewhere and flouts it and gets away with it. He will be expelled from the party. You ask whether the minister, who is to blame if the minister refuses to obey the instruction. Whether the minister, my interpretation is that does the party have the right to sack a minister? The minister is a product of the party, and the party supremacy even also includes the presidency. The president is a product of the party. So it is because there hasn't been a chairman that knows how to enforce the rules. That's why it looks like everybody is just having a field day. The president has made three decisions that have really pleased me. One is the appointment of Festus Keyamo as the spokesperson of his campaign organization. Then Oshomole coming on board as chairman of the party. The next thing I would like him to do is to change his chief of staff. I do not see a reason why the president is not allowed to know what is happening in his own government. That is what is happening. And Oshomole knows these things, and he knows that the president is not aware because of those that are very close to him. And the chief of staff is one of the culprits, I dare say. So if he wants to complete the cycle, he should change the chief of staff.
All right, then.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You can see the frustration of the national chairman of the party. I don't belong to any party. I can see his frustration of the national chairman of the party in terms of name dropping of the president.
Yeah, he brought that
You
up.
could see, we saw the clip. And a party cannot continue on that note and expect, are you with me?
That whole order from above
That
syndrome.
hogwash approach to governance. And the man came and I didn't see anything dictatorial in what he has said. It's because we are used to some certain things in the past, and the man said, no, you know what? We are not going to continue on this part, because if we continue on this part, it's a part of discussion. However, I want to respond to one of the things that George said, and it's something which, a narrative that I have asked people, let them give me where they had the meeting, and it was decided, and it was documented, that this person should not become the Senate president, or this person should not become the speaker. The moment you are elected as a member, it behoves on the member of the House of Rep and the Senate to elect from the majority party, whoever they feel. But on the issue that somebody cannot become it, no, it's against the principle of democracy. Anybody can aspire. Anybody can aspire.
I disagree with you.
Well, I'm going to come back. I want to hear that disagreement, but let me quickly bring in Reverend Dominic. Good morning, Dominic.
Good morning, Yori. How are you?
Thanks for calling.
Good morning, Dr. Jide.
Good morning, Reverend Dominic.
And good morning, the Honorable Commissioner.
Good morning, sir.
Dr. Jide, let me answer you straight. Instead of you to salute Oshomole, what you need is to pity him. Dr. Jide, you have not been in politics. I have been in politics. It is in character of Nigerian politicians, as the Honorable Commissioner. Immediately you give a Nigerian politician a ticket, and maybe as a governor candidate, a presidential candidate, they begin to call him Honorable. His Excellency. Immediately they begin to call His Excellency. He has not won election or Honorable. He has not won election. Immediately he will call meeting without the knowledge of the party chairman. I pity Oshomole. The governors were against him. The latest ministers were against him. The latest senators of this country were against him. The man has behaved as a greater man he is. But will he have support of the party? My answer here, put it on record, is no. Let me give you an example. I'm a student of history. Jibril, who was the House of Representatives, thought that this government would behave otherwise. He brought the issue of funding, which has been used in national assembly for too long. But we're going to have a different character. What happened to him? He went on suspension for 1 year. Buhari did not stand for him. The party did not not stand for him. Oshimole will stand alone because in the character of major politicians, they are usurpers. Immediately they become maybe something like political appointment or win election. They become God over themselves. They don't listen to political parties. So I pity Oshimole and I salute his courage also. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in, Reverend Dominic. Okay, I want to go to the point you said you disagree.
Well, there are two bigger things. George talked about, even in advanced democracy, the leadership of the majority party will sit down and look at it that, okay, out of all the elected parliament, who do we think can push our agenda better? And they will pick someone. And that is the normal thing. What happened in the case of Saraki is abnormalities, which has led us to this. You might not have a written law that says someone cannot contest. We are not saying they can't contest, but the party leadership that has a vision, that has a manifesto,
would have decided beforehand on who they would like to see as, for instance, the Senate president.
Yes, and then two. It's also important and chip in this. Any governor or president that succeeds would probably have a good chief of staff. If you feel you have a bad chief of staff. The reason why everybody is saying Aregbe has done well is because he has a good chief of staff, Oyetola, that has now become the governorship candidate of the party. So it is important that the president and the leadership of the national party also looks at that direction. Because I'm a politician, he's not a politician. 2019 matters to me. I'm a young guy, I want to come years to come and say, when our party was in power, we did this. So it is also important that apart from the minister, the party leadership should also look at the direction of the chief of staff to the president so that we can fulfill our promises to the electorate.
Yeah, but that's the very problem, that's the very issue that George brought up.
Uncle Yori, I wish they could talk to people in my local government about my political antecedent. I've spent 20 years of my life, 1987 to 2007, playing politics. I resigned because I'll tell him this. I'm a student of history and I studied trend. In this present political dispensation, it is people that do not work in the process that benefit from it. And I can do the analysis for him. I can do. Every president you have had are reluctant president. They were not interested in it. Most governors that you have had are reluctant governors. In actual sense, he will tell you that it is not the people that campaign with them that become part and parcel. I did a study of 1999 to 2007. I can't be part and parcel of this process. So talking about I'm a politician, I'm not a politician. That's not even the issue.
Okay.
The real issue of the matter is, I've asked him, the party is just coming to bed. The party is just coming. You talk about parties that have built institutions over years. Now you're having different groups coming together to form the party. So it was a period of harmonization. It was a period of team building. As a result of that, there was no clear-cut direction as regards who becomes what or who becomes what or who becomes what. And if people are just, we are short on history. In 2011, Tambuwal emerged as the Speaker of the House of Rep against the party institution. It is the people that are complaining about Saraki that supported Tambuwal in 2011. When the thing now turned over, they are complaining. Because they said then, I'm coming. They said then that we should allow the House of Rep members to elect. It was Mulikat from Osun State. Even people, legislators from Osun State, from Oyo State, even legislator from Southwest voted against Mulikat.
I've got to go to a break. I know you want to react to this.
Explain this to me.
And you'll do that as soon as we come back from break. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We're examining the issue of the ruling party bearing its fangs on party supremacy and discipline. The most, current example of which is that the APC chairman has read ministers the Riot Act, especially in aviation and labor ministries. But before we went, where the conversation has come to, there was something you wanted to disagree.
Okay, on the Tambuwal issue, you see,
for example, yes.
What is bad is bad, whether it favors us or not. The beginning of PDP's downfall was allowing Tambuwal to be the speaker. And eventually, Tambuwal decamped. Eventually, Tambuwal worked in the interest of the then opposition party. So once you flout the party's instruction, it comes out to hurt you and affect you later.
The chaos ensues.
So whether it is PDP or APC, yeah, he said it. We were happy because as opposition, we wanted what we put down the government. And they also did it for us in 2015. Unfortunately, the leadership of the party then was not firm enough. Look at the issue of pardon. If anybody had told me pardon will become order of the day in Buhari's government, I would have argued it.
There's nothing anybody can do about pardon.
So what is important is now we have a leadership of the party that knows what to do. And in politics, 24-hour matters. Yeah. I know with the threat of Shomole as usual, and he's going to follow it up, these boards will be inaugurated, and a lot of ministers will sit tight.
Okay. If the way this conversation is going, there seems to be support, for the bearing of the fangs,
for the party.
In the interest of the party, in the strength of the party.
It's an institution
but someone has called in, Dominic has called in, Reverend Dominic, and says that, look, I'm a politician. I have my apprehensions, having played in this particular arena before. It brings back the whole matter about, since you guys are for, it brings back the whole matter of, what is that word now? Meritocracy. How do we put people in important offices? Apparently, you guys would say that now we have a guy of merit in the office of the chairman of the APC.
How did Oshomole emerge? It was his antecedent that provided him this opportunity. And it's a welcome development. I told you I have my issues with him, but I became his fan 3 weeks ago. So, like Dominic pointed out that, would he be alone? Oshomole has fought many battles alone as NLC president.
He said so.
So he's fought many battles. And then if you stand on the part of justice, if you stand on the part of the truth, the truth will prevail. You might be lonely. It's just a matter of time before you see.
I guess the subtle point I'm making is that in times past, such competency and such qualification would deliberately have been looked away from. Is the point I'm making.
Because the party was at a quagmire.
In this society that we're in.
Because it's about change.
It's
about change. You might not understand, but it's about change. Because we know this is not what we told people we were going to do.
Okay.
And we sat down and looked at ourselves that it's important.
So you now decided, it is your thinking that now the party decided we got to get real.
Yes.
Stop that whole Nigerian thing that we used to do, that we always do.
It's about change.
And now let's get cracking.
Let me also tell you something that we've done
who can deliver. Let me quickly bring in Mr. Olorun. I lost Mr. Olorun in Okota. Yes, carry on.
Now, let me also tell you one thing that Shomole had done. We might be thinking is alone. He has tactically reduced the power of leadership with the introduction of direct primaries. What it means is a governor that is not popular in the state, except the party now says we are no longer doing that. A governor that is not popular or a National Assembly member that is not popular in his locality will not get there any longer. And that will now make it
unlike
before
the
that
paddy arrangement that used to go on.
3-4 people will just sit down and say, anytime Lori. So he has done that. He has tactically given back power to the average party members. The president will need to do a lot.
Will the system not fight back?
Let me tell you, the president
do you think the system has the capacity to fight back?
The system cannot face the people.
Okay.
You know what?
The system, I'm a politician, and I can tell you the system cannot face the people. Forget what
the party chairman has given back. No, we have 2 or 3 people will not sit down and decide this will be it. And then we want 2-3 people to also sit down and decide for the National Assembly members. This should be your leader. We want democracy. We want democracy at the grassroots. We don't want democracy. You see, it's giving back. It's giving back power, like he said. It's giving power to the people. The power ultimately Thomas Jefferson said, when the people fear the government, that is tyranny. When the government fear the people, that is liberty. And now we are now having a libertarian society where the ultimate power resides with the people. Because now you can't sit in Abuja as a senator and you come home every 6 months and you give some few people money and you think now you can't collect the constituent allowance and not spend it on your pocket. Are you getting my point? So now it's ultimately bringing back power to the people. I told you, because what Oshomole is doing, he has ignited a fire. And it is left for you and I to flame that fire of party supremacy, because you can't have a democracy without a party system. And a party system cannot succeed without party supremacy, without people not respecting the constitution of their party.
Sure.
Across board, they flouted it. And Oshimole went back to the constitution. He said, what? You know where we have sitting governors? We'll go through direct primaries.
Sure.
He said, we'll go through...
Engineer Remy, my producer is reminding me of, in your state, the secretary of the government resigned because he was dissatisfied with the outcome of the recent primaries. That's not being a team party man player.
Well, in politics, you see a lot of scheming and all that. A lot of our politicians didn't prepare for the direct primary. They were thinking it was the normal, usual, you go and buy delegates, you give money to delegates, and they...
No, okay.
So it came as a shock.
You are saying that...
Most of the politicians.
Oh, I thought you were saying that in particular the secretary of the government.
I said most of the politicians.
Okay.
The word most. So what happened came as a shock. And because a lot of people wanted to discredit the process, and Governor Yari just said, okay, you are saying we have gone to print ballot paper in Ashwaju's house. Don't worry, what we are going to do is the option A4. You queue behind the candidate you want. So it came as a shock. And in Osun, we have 362,000 party membership. So it came as a shock. And because a lot of these aspirants had relied on leaders, that leaders would just dictate delegate. Delegate were just 5,200 compared to a 362,000. So it came as a shock, and a lot of them pulled out. About 3 of them pulled out, not because the process was fraudulent, but because they knew there was no way they could have won.
There's no way they could have a show.
And I told you something joking. I said that process had relegated a lot of leaders. I knew a leader that they went to beg. I support this person. Said, no, I will show you. The man lost his word and he started crying. I knew of a word that they brought money. And people said, no, this is the person we want to vote for. So that had reduced the power of...
So the real change, from what you're saying, the real change, and you can speak as a party member, Mr. Dr. Johnson, I said, I'm not in any party. You believe that for the first time, perhaps, that symbol, that slogan, change, is about to be given life to?
No, it has started, but not at the level we would expect. I mean, I was coming in yesterday.
It's going to get better.
Better, yeah. It started from...
It started.
Lagos-Ibadan Expressway has improved. Power has improved, though not at the rate we expect. Rail projects is
So you're quite optimistic?
Yes.
In spite of the warnings of Reverend Dominic that, look, as a politician...
No, it might be difficult, but I think we'll go through this.
Okay.
We are going to go. Don't also forget that apart from all this...
It's likely to be difficult because not every party member is going to be down with it, right?
Yes. Don't also forget that a lot of people are threatening to leave the party, and I know Oshimole is really working on them.
Yeah.
But someone that wants to pull down the party, if you beg and he says, no, I will pull down the party, if he wants to, let him leave.
Okay.
Because for what is important is we promise Nigerian change. We have a manifesto. Anybody that will not allow us fulfill that manifesto, if such person wants to go, the person should go.
Okay. Maazi Okorafor, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sayori.
Thank you for calling.
Good morning, indeed, Provost. Good morning, Commissioner.
Morning, sir.
The ministers are running the Paracata as family and friends instead of doing the job as federal establishment ministers. Our ministers should sit up. Look at the NECO examination board and NATEC examination board. The confusion there between the registrar and the board chairman, promotion and confusion. Don't you know that such promotions presently affect the students? At least my chief provost can confirm. Because when you conduct all these exams by either WAEC or NECO, it lasts for only 90 days. Conduct of exam and release of results. Now, compare when they did this last NATEC and NECO. Because of the confusion among them. Now, anybody should be a Senate president. Nothing like party decide, because I see no reason why Nigerians, when we come to a party issue, say that the party must dictate. Now, I want to find out from the chief provost or commissioner, is it the party that gave the candidate the money to go and contest for the election in terms of buying the form, in terms of going to look for people that will come and campaign for them? If yes, then you can now talk about the party that decide who should be the... You see, I'm still saying, I'm still repeating it. The problem in Nigeria is illiteracy. We don't want to move forward. We see the behave that is, we are still at the giants of Africa. Giants of Africa. See how other international countries are just making anybody that wants to sign a research work, you use Nigeria as an example. We should start from all this cake and political way of thinking about politics. Thank you very much. Happy President Day, Lagos.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
I want to,
I think I'm to
I want
okay.
to respond to one thing Remy said, and which is a narrative that people have spoken about. Open secret ballot is not option A4, and it's a narrative that has taken. Open secret ballot system is a ballot system, is the voting procedure. Now, option A4 is the selection process of candidate that was deployed in 1992 to pick the presidential candidate. That for you to show that you have access to national, you start from the lowest political unit, which is the ward, local government, that's the option 2, state, option 3, and national, option 4. That's option A4. It's different from, and I've seen that narrative, is what they had in Osun was not option A4. What they had is an open secret ballot. You
was
queue
a direct primary.
Direct primary, you queue behind everybody that votes for them. And to what Mazi said, you see, for us to move forward in this nation, we must get the party right. And every one of us.
You're relating to the aspect of, is it the party that bought forms for them?
Now we must
I will respond to that too.
Because there's no candidate, are you with me? There's no candidate that runs on the platform of his name. You always run on the platform of your party's name. And the ultimate power of the party resides with that. Look, you know who is going to sign the nomination form of the president? It's Adams Oshiomhole that is going to send his name to INEC. The president, if Adams Oshiomhole does not sign
there will be a crisis.
The nomination form,
There will be a crisis.
he can run. If Adams Oshiomhole, you see, that people that design the party system knows what they are doing in order to bring public governance under the party structure.
I'm going to come to you, but let me go by way of Honorable Odukoya in Owode. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I'm calling from Owode, Lagos.
Sure. Please go ahead and contribute.
Yes, I want to thank our party chairman, who has done a great job by ordering the ministers to inaugurate their board. I'm a party man, and I know the contributions of the people that have been nominated to work in the board that has not been inaugurated. I know the impact that will have caused in the changes that will have made at the grassroots level. I'm a grassroots man. There is no way a minister can do a one-man show and the government will go smoothly. And the party members will also be happy because the feedback must be through those boards. They have their own contributions too to the party and to the success of the party. That is on one side. Another thing is this: the option A4 that was adopted at in Osun, and that is a very good development. Even if the party leaders will have their way, it will be through the grassroots leaders who will have mobilized the grassroots members to the primary centers. So they are because as a grassroots leader, you have some people that are loyal to you. So they pass through you, they come back through you to ask for what is happening in the government, what is this, what is that. But when a grassroots leader does not know anything about how somebody comes to power, he has nothing to say about it.
All right then. So thank you very much, Honorable. So what you're saying is that this is healthy for party democracy, but you had always wanted to.
Yes, he was saying something about, is it the party that bought form for him? Let me explain the way it works. You cannot, there's no independent candidates in Nigeria. Mm-hmm. You cannot even emerge without, or you cannot run without running on the party structure. I'll give an instance, Osun. We have 3,010 polling units. In each of the polling units, we have 10 canvassers. The canvassers are the one like, Mama come out to INEC is here, Mama come and vote for a candidate. So what that means is that in Osun alone, you have about 30,000 canvassers. You don't have ward canvassers. You have LGA canvassers. These are all the structures you have to run on to become a governor. If you have money and you don't have a structure, a platform to run, there's no way you become a governor. Mm. So for the mere fact that you funded the process does not mean the structure, you run on independent structure. Mm. So you must listen to what the structure is saying you should do. And don't also forget that as a canvasser, One of the strengths of a canvasser is, Mama, have you seen the road we've done? Mama, have you seen the school our government has built? Because they are the ones that relate with the people on the street. So it is very, very important you do what will please those people and what will give them strength to canvass for the party in future election.
Are you, well, Kenneth in Kainji, before my question. Good morning, Kenneth in Kainji.
Yeah, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah. I'm greeting your guests. Yeah, good morning, Uncle Yori. Yeah. You see, let me just chip in one thing. You see, Oshomola is trying to bring back, that is what is lost in APC. You see, the Minister for Labor and Employment is, he's used to be running. He's used to run government all alone. If you watch when he was in Anambra State, he tried to do everything on his own. You understand? If you watch the way he was running this ministry now, you see that he wants to do it on his own. And for Anambra Central, he represented us for 4 years in the Senate. He is running everything alone. Likewise, other ministers I'm happy they are they wake up now. When the leader under Oshomole. And things will get better in no distant time.
All right then. All right then. Well, thank you very much for calling in. So it seems that largely, I think there haven't been too many naysayers. In fact, I don't think I've had any naysayer. Even Reverend Dominic, he's happy, but is apprehensive that when the former way fights back, will there be capacity to insist on we are not going back, we're staying from here and that kind of a thing? But you seem to think that this will strengthen internal democracy, which has always been a wish. It's always been on everybody's wish list. People who say that they love the party, but the problem is internal democracy. Now you think that is Oshomole and his insistence on the principles, is it the panacea?
You know
if
what,
we can stay with that?
Yeah, you know one other thing is done. He has just talked about appointment. This morning I was discussing with someone and he said, some of your ministers are causing problems within the party. Except it was making reference to Southwest. And he said, but the Osun minister is doing well, is interfacing with the party. This would also make all political appointees sit tight. Because
sit up or sit tight?
Sit up, rather. Okay. This is there's an adage that says, "Oh, wait on something for you." A lot of people now knows he has spoken to the minister. It's coming to us. Average party member cannot walk to the ministry to go and see the minister, but they can go to the party secretariat to drop petition. So this would really strengthen the party. And don't forget that this is democracy. It's about numbers. When we did our direct primary, the man that won with 127,000 people. So if 127,000 party members came out and said, this is what we want, and the man that came second had 21,000, what that means is general election is half done. Mm-hmm. Because the 127,000 has stake in that person. So they will do all.
Okay. I get the point you're making. Abiola in Oshogbo, good morning.
Good morning, Mongeri.
Good morning, sir.
I'm very grateful to be part of the program this morning. This is my first time caller to the program.
Oh, we're happy to have you. So happy.
Thank you very much. See, I want to believe in the fact that the program of APC is one of the best programs. But unfortunately, we are unable to have the power, the people at that very shadow of the shadow of the party to lead it. See, I want to believe in the fact that something great is going to happen to the APC. Or it is very unfortunate that we're having this kind very late. Very late. And people are going from one party to another. I can see on your screen now that about 15 APC members have senators are diverted to the PDP. But one thing is this: if we can have this very kind of person like Oshiomhole on the saddle of the APC, it will be very happy. Unlike our former chairman, Odige, that did not even do anything for us to know what is going on in the party. I am very happy with Oshiomhole. Let him carry on and be doing the best thing. I greet Engineer Omawale. Thank you very much. And God will bless you. We'll be expecting you back to
our states.
Oshobo.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I think that
Thank you very much.
What TVC has done is to replace the arrogance of the past with pragmatism.
Change.
Oshiomhole brought pragmatism into it. What is practical, what is real. A lot of things that...
And also apparently would be reigning in the party.
A lot of things that Oyegun kept quiet, that turned his blind eye on. And a lot of issues that party members raised. Are you with me? You know how many years it took for the government to constitute the board? You know how many months it took for the presidency to constitute his cabinet? And we said on air that time that public administration is tenure-based. The clock starts ticking the moment you are elected. So if you don't take any decision on time, it will come back to haunt you. Because like they say while we're in nursery school, tick, say that clock, tick, tick. What you have to do quick.
Okay.
And as a result of that, Oshiomhole is trying to bring back the hand of time so that, you know what, let's reorganize the party. Let's put everything in order. And because people are used to business as usual, they are calling him dictatorial. My friend is not dictatorial. The guy is doing the right thing.
It's going to be very difficult then for anybody within the party to fault this new direction.
Well, you will see some senators at the camp. It's going to rattle the party, no doubt. But I think we'll go over this. National Assembly primaries is coming September. And most of them knows with the structure at the moment, they won't get the ticket back. So it is better they rattle the party and they leave. So we'll see a lot of things coming up in days to come. But for us, we want to look at before going to 2019 polls, to look back and say, okay, we promised Nigerians this. We have been able to do this. Though difficult, though tough, but we want a scenario where we'll say we'll have been able to do this. And without strong party discipline and internal democracy, we'll not be able to achieve
You
this.
can't achieve that. Yes. Our last caller is, quite frankly, Kenneth. Good morning, Kenneth.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Sorry, my name is Kennedy. I'm calling you from Port Harcourt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just...
Kennedy, I'm sorry. Kennedy.
Yes, Kennedy. Yes, first of all, I want to commend, by all means, commend this very bold move that the now chairman of the APC has so taken by making it so loud and so clear that, look, the minister, you must do what you are here to do by at least instituting a board. And then, if you are not prepared to do that, then you'll be showed the way out. But the question I would love very much to ask is I hope he's not going to just start and end by just the threat. I hope he's going to follow it up with some very stringent disciplinary measure meted out to any defaulting minister who contravenes what it is he wants them to do, that the party actually wants them to do. I hope he will not just stop by mere words, he will follow it out by action should any minister err. That's one. Then off the program, I would like very much to make a correction here. Just a correction here. I don't know why people, just a correction please. I don't know why people should address you as Uncle Yori on program.
Thank you very much.
I think it should be Mr. Yori and not Uncle Yori.
It should be just Yori. Thank you very much, Kennedy. I give you my vote.
Well, Kennedy is talking from a different orientation, probably. From the narrative of our culture and our society. It's allowed. We live a communal society.
Thank you very much.
If you live in a neighborhood, your father is not only your father. Everybody in the community.
Okay, we got to.
Let me just tie it up with this. I want, because we are going. Oshiomhole should watch out for the governors. The governors have been the major problem of all parties in Nigeria since 1999. And these are the groups that they need to cut their influence and relate with them so that it gets their buy-in concerning this new approach that he has brought to Nigerian politics.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much, Dr. Jide Johnson, Deputy Provost, NIJ, and Engineer Remy Omowaye. Thank you very much. We've completely run out of time.
Yeah, I think I need to quickly chip in this. It's important in all this. We give kudos and thank Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Thank you very much
because
for calling.
It's the brain behind all this that's changed.
Thank you very much. And we also, on the program, we shout out to Mr. Gbemiga Ogunleye, NIJ Provost.
Shout out for and
that's the program. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you.